Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome into the shop on a Martin Luther King Day. Interesting new addition to the shop today. I was able to purchase for basically a non-working condition one of the very great, and I mean one of the very great stereo amplifiers, one of the early ones that is legendary today, and I do mean legendary, and it's the Dynakit ST, the Kit 70, circa 1958 to I think maybe 1969. I mean, these units were legendary, but of course, as usual, I've got a major problem here, because if somebody thinks when you ship a piece of vintage gear that all you have to do is throw it into a box with a few packing peanuts and send it on its way, where it's going to be dropped by Federal Express or UPS, sometimes 6 feet straight dead drop. And the result is a disaster. Imagine if you had a classic, let's say an Aston Martin, a Morgan, a really classic car, 1932 V16 Packard touring car. Imagine if somebody purchased that and you went to ship that and you just put that into a shipping container. You didn't do anything to tie down or secure that within the container. And then run that on a roller coaster and see how that turns out when you open the shipping container. Let me tell you what, you've got a destroyed classic. And here again we have a case where this specifically came, and the reason I bought this is it had some of the Mullard vacuum tubes from Great Britain, and well, they're the most desirable ever made. And well, let's see what happened here. Here's the Dynakit as it came. It has the very nice cage on it. This is in real good shape. You can see down here, Dynakit stereo 70, mono or stereo left to right inputs, and then your bias adjustments here. But when I took the top off of it, all the tubes were rattling around inside of it. Unfortunately, the vacuum tubes in here, and these are manufactured by Mullard. You can see Great Britain there. I don't know if you can see that. Yes, Great Britain on there. Really a fabulous, I mean, top of the line tubes. I don't know what the all the values are just yet. I imagine these are EL-34 output tubes. But how sad in careless shipping. You can see that has come totally off that bottom there. And let me tell you, these are very expensive vacuum tubes. Guess what? They're not making Mullard vacuum tubes anymore. And like I said, these are the best that were ever made. And what a heartbreak to see these. To see this kind of mess here with other breakage here. Anybody that deals with vintage audio and repair, you know, this is over 50 pounds, this unit. These big, beautiful, beefy speaker output transformers, one for each channel. You got a big, beautiful power transformer here. And then you have this kind of lack of respect to just throw something in a box and just ship it. Heartbreaking. Pride of Great Britain right there. The beautiful Mullards. Well, they're irreplaceable. No, they're replaceable, but at a tremendous cost. The reason I specifically bought this was because it had 4 Mullard matched output tubes, which drives the big volume to the speakers, by the way. Takes the small signal from whatever you input here, your MP3 player, your record player, and through a series of steps, it takes that, amplifies that, sends it out, one channel, left channel, right channel, through great amplification due to these output tubes here. So now I have an unmatched set here. Whatever I go out and buy, will never be the match of these. Now this was called the Dynakit. This is a very reflective surface here. It hasn't been cleaned up or anything. It's called the Dynakit Stereo 70. And the Dynakit company originally started as Dyna, D-Y-N-A, Corporation in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania in 1955. And by 1965, they had achieved legendary status because of this particular unit, the Dynakit, the 70. Now you could either get the Dynakit, which this is, see right there, the Dynakit, and it's very hard to focus on that surface, the Dynakit, or you could buy the Dynakit. And the difference between the two of them is that the Dynakit was something that you built yourself at home. And remember, in the 1950s, 1940s, 50s, and 60s, do-it-yourself was very big in the world of high fidelity, which very few people even understand what high fidelity is. They know what hi-fi, but they don't know the concept of high fidelity with the very broad frequencies. Response, so you hear everything as opposed to leaving things on the recording studio floor. This kit was one that you would build yourself, and a lot of hobbyists bought these and put these together. Of course, the big variable was how well they built it. And as I turn it upside down, I did my initial inspection on the underside of the unit here, and I was very thrilled to look in here and see whoever had assembled this kit, in my opinion, had done a much better job than I would be able to do wiring this. You can see one of the very, very earliest printed circuit boards here. Very fragile, but I think this is a super job here. It has the choke on it. Did a very good job here. So obviously now I'm charged with, I don't even know if the unit is it's definitely not working condition. I expected that. But I did not expect to have to go into the marketplace and try to buy a replacement Mullard output tube here. Very, very disappointing to me. But it is what makes this so heartbreaking sometimes, is people just have no respect. They don't understand the history of something that is, well, it's 60 years old, my age. And you wouldn't just throw me in a box with packing peanuts, right? But unfortunately, when the average person, if an estate passes or something like that, the average person cannot be expected to know what they really have. So there's the situation that we have there. Probably will procure, they sell the general replacement boards here for the control of it. But let me tell you, that's a lot to rewire, and I like to have things as authentic and as original as possible. So we'll have to secure the schematic and get cracking on this. It's very disappointing, though, to see this. Well, there it is, the Dynakit Legend, the Dynakit 70. It is on the bench. Just an update on the H.H. Scott 232B stereo amplifier, where we had the explosion here. Still waiting for parts here. I'm not going to take parts in willy-nilly. Stuff's back ordered. Send it all at once. I'm not going to piecemeal the repairs. So, okay. Just another day in the shop. Another day of heartbreak and disappointment. But anybody that does vintage repair work is used to this kind of nonsense, and this inability to understand how to ship something. All right. Thanks so much for being along, and another project queued up on the bench. Thanks, everybody.